Hey folks, going to do another video here of a game that I picked up from Gen Con 2022. This was another big hit game at the convention. Everybody was scrambling for it. I stood in line for it, which was probably a bad decision on my part, but I didn't know at the time that they had enough copies to go all Gen Con long, which is great. More publishers should really do that. There was no risk in them selling out. But they always had people coming by to pick up this game. This is a trick-taking game. Played this once. No, actually, maybe we played twice. I can't remember now. But I enjoyed it. The other players, I think, enjoyed it as well. But I'm going to open it up and take a look. This is by Bezier Games. So it comes with a rule book that goes through all the rules. It's pretty self-explanatory. There is one section in the rules here that kind of threw us off until we played through basically a whole round, and then we were like, okay, now that makes sense. But it says in here, where is it? At the end, preparing for the next round. During the preparation phase after the second round, the following procedure will be added. You should do this procedure after every round, not after the second. You do it after the first round as well, not after the second round. Otherwise, you can't play the game. Little reference sheet on the back kind of goes through the flow of the game. Basically, in this game, like I said, it's a trick-taking game. You're going to have this grid that's out in the middle of the board. It has all these numbers on it. When you play a card, so we'll look at the deck here real quick. The deck backs are all the same. It's just blue, and then every card is black. There's nines, and then we play with 4 players, so the nines weren't a part of the game. But every card is black, and the numbers are all there. So when you play a card, it's very similar to any other trick-taking game in terms of how it plays. So somebody's going to lead, and they'll say, I'm going to lead, I'm going to throw a 1, and I have to decide what color that's going to be. So let's say if I'm gonna play the yellow player, because I'm always yellow. We'll say I play 1, and I say, okay, this is a yellow 1. So I'm going to take a token, I'm going to put it in the yellow 1 spot. So now the yellow 1 has been played. Nobody else can play a yellow 1. Whoever comes after me has to follow suit, or they can break suit. If they can't play a card, they can play something out of off suit. However, they're not going to be considered for to win the hand. So if the next person plays, say they're going to say this is a green 2, and it's the blue player, and the blue player played a green 2. He's not going to win this hand because it didn't follow suit, so forth and so on. The red suit or color is trump. So if anybody plays a red color, then they're going to win that hand unless somebody plays a higher number than them in the trump suit. You cannot lead, just like any trick-taking game, you cannot lead trump until it's broken. So I can't throw a red 1 out unless somebody's already broken a hand with throwing a red card, breaking off suit. You basically play through hands. It's gonna there is a little bit of a betting aspect, so you're gonna have this card in front of you, and you're supposed to if I play a 1 and I'm gonna play a blue 1, I'm supposed to put it to the blue side. They're gonna be tokens filling out these X's, so it'll look something like this. So at the start of the hand, all my X's will be out, and then You basically, everybody gets dealt, an equal number of cards, and you look at your cards. You determine how many tricks you think you're going to take. This card is double-sided. This is the 4 and 5 player side. So let's say I think I'm just gonna take one trick. So that's my bet. If I make my bet, I get bonus points. If I don't make my bet, I just get a point for each book that I've taken, each hand that I've won. When I would play a let's say blue was been led, right? And I want to say I don't have any blue cards left. So I'll play a green, whatever number. I will take my blue token off to indicate I have no blue cards left. And this is the token I use when I put it up here for my green 5 that I just played. Just kind of reminds you can't play any blue numbers now. So the game goes around, everybody plays, somebody leads and everybody follows, etc. You're going to keep playing until either you've played all the way down to one card, or a paradox happens. So a paradox happens is when basically, usually, when one of all color is, so like I say, all yellows are taken, all these are filled in, nobody can play any more yellow cards. Well, actually, it's usually when most of the board is filled in. And let's say all the fours are filled in, but somebody has a 4, and that's the only card they can play. Well, the green 4 has been played, the yellow 4 has been played, the blue 4 has been played, and the red 4 has been played. So they can't play that 4. They cause a paradox. When that happens, the hand immediately ends. That player is going to lose points for every book that they have. The other players are going to count their points for books that they've won, and then if they met their betting, if they met their bet guess that they put out at the start of the hand, they will get bonus points for that. So if I said I was going to take one book and I took one book, I would go to the board here, and you basically look to see what your biggest consecutive patch of tokens is. So I have one patch over here that's 1, and I have one patch over here that's 3. So I would get 3 points. That's my biggest consecutive number of tokens together. And then you just play again. All the tokens come off of this board, and everything is shuffled back up. And these get reset. You get the one back on blue. You get a fresh hand. You get to choose again how many books you think you're going to take, and you keep going basically until everyone has been the dealer. And then after that, the game ends, and you calculate whoever has the most points wins. So it's a fairly quick trick-taking game as well. Once you learn to play, this board actually has cards in here, so this slides out and these flip over depending on the number of players. It's a pretty neat little game. The insert is pretty decent. You'll see there's wells for the player pieces, and these pieces here will cover up certain numbers depending on how many players are in the game. It does come with a little score pad for you to write on, and determine who created paradoxes and the date and all that type of stuff. Just to basically keep track of score. It's a pretty neat little game. I enjoyed it. I think the other players that I played with did as well. The scoring aspect takes a little bit to get used to, because you want to play numbers that create consecutive token, a high number of consecutive tokens out on that board, but you also want to leave yourself room so you're not creating a paradox. So it's very easy to lose track of what's been played out there, because you're trying to focus on just creating those huge chunks of tokens so you can try to get your bonus points while meeting your bet. If you don't meet your bet, you don't calculate those bonus points. So that was wasted. There's basically 3 things you need to be juggling all at once. It's a fun little game. Plays 2 to 5. Yeah, 2 to 5. It says it's 30 minutes. That's probably accurate once you get a couple hands in. But this is Cat in the Box Quantum Trick Taking Game. This is the deluxe edition, which I think comes with the little the plastic tokens as the player pieces. They're probably just cardboard in the regular version, I would imagine. But this is by Bezier Games. It also says Hobby Japan on the side here, so maybe that was a co-designer or publisher. I'm not sure. This was at the Bezier booth, though, so. Anyways, that is Cat in the Box. Thanks for watching.